The baby wouldn't stop crying that morning. The Great Pyrenees wouldn't stop watching the mother. Nobody in that room understood the dog was reading the wrong person. Marguerite was 10 months old and crying with the full-body commitment of a baby who had decided this was how the morning was going to go. Her mother, Delia Fontaine, was on the kitchen floor with her, trying each item in the sequence. Changed, fed, held, put down, walked, held again, with a measured persistence of someone in their 11th month of this particular education. The Great Pyrenees, Atlas, was not watching Marguerite. Atlas was a 5-year-old Great Pyrenees, 114 pounds, white, with the particular settled gravity of a livestock guardian breed that has transferred its instincts to a family home without any reduction in seriousness. He had always been calm around Marguerite, from day one, composed and observant, the kind of dog that makes people say he knows something we don't. For 9 days, Atlas had been sitting in a specific position in the kitchen every morning, not near the baby, near Delia, specifically to her left and slightly behind her, at the position that would place him approximately level with her left arm and chest if she were standing. He did not follow her when she moved to other rooms. He returned to that position when she came back to the kitchen. He was there when she made coffee. He was there when she fed Marguerite. He was there at the specific geometry of her left side, sitting, watching, with the particular quality of attention that was not affection and not play-seeking, and was not anything Delia had a category for. She had mentioned it to her husband Pierre on day 4. He had watched it for 10 minutes and said Atlas probably just liked the morning light from the east window. She had thought about this, and it was plausible, and she had stopped thinking about it. She was thinking about it again on day 9. On day 9, Marguerite was crying. Atlas was in his position, and Delia, standing at the kitchen counter trying to warm a bottle, felt something in her chest she had felt 3 times in the previous 2 weeks and had attributed each time to sleep deprivation or caffeine or the general physics of having a 10-month-old. A flutter, brief, 4 seconds, maybe 5. A sensation like a page turning inside her chest. She set down the bottle. She stood still. Atlas stood up. He crossed the 2 meters between them in 4 seconds, pressed his enormous head against her left arm, and remained there, not nudging, not seeking attention, weight-bearing, deliberate contact against her left arm, his body blocking her from the left. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. The flutter passed. Atlas returned to his position. Delia stood at the counter for a long moment. She was 34 years old. She had no history of cardiac issues. She was not overweight. She did not smoke. She had been tired for 11 months and had attributed essentially everything unusual about her body to that fact. She called Pierre at work. She described what had happened. Not the flutter specifically, but Atlas's behavior over 9 days and what he had done when she felt the sensation. Pierre told her to call the doctor. She called the doctor. She described Atlas's behavior. The receptionist paused and then scheduled her for an appointment the following day with an unusual brevity that suggested the description had moved through some internal triage. Dr. Clarence Webb, her family physician, fit a Holter monitor the next afternoon. A portable cardiac recording device worn for 24 to 48 hours to capture heart rhythm across normal daily activity. He said it was likely nothing but the dog's behavior was an unusual enough history to warrant a baseline recording. The cardiologist who reviewed the monitor results 3 days later called Delia directly rather than waiting for the referral pathway. Dr. Nadia Okonkwo, Cardiology, Regional Medical Center, 22 years in practice, told Delia she had captured 9 episodes of paroxysmal supraventricular tachycardia, a condition in which the heart's electrical system briefly fires abnormally. Producing a rapid flutter sensation that resolves on its own but over time creates both cumulative cardiac stress and, in specific patterns, risk of more serious arrhythmia. It was a treatable condition. It required intervention. It was the kind of thing that, untreated over months, could progress. Dr. Okonkwo said she had been practicing for 22 years. She said she had received patient referrals through many channels. She said she had never before received a referral pathway that began with a dog sitting on someone's left side every morning for 9 days. Has your dog ever done something you couldn't explain until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Dogs have been documented detecting cardiac arrhythmia through multiple mechanisms. Changes in heart rhythm produce subtle differences in body vibration. Electrochemical shifts affect skin conductance and breath chemistry, and the stress hormones released during arrhythmic episodes alter the scent profile of perspiration and exhaled air in ways detectable to a canine nose operating at parts per trillion sensitivity. Atlas had no formal medical training. He had been living in proximity to Delia for 5 years. He knew her chemistry the way a language speaker knows syntax. Not as a learned rule, but as an absorbed pattern. And he had detected the deviation. His positioning to her left was not coincidental. The left side is the cardiac dominant side, and dogs assisting or alerting to cardiac events are documented to naturally position toward the event source, to do. He had been placing himself at the signal for 9 days, morning after morning, waiting for someone in the house to understand what he was reading. On day 9, he had done the only other thing available to him. Pressed his full weight against the source of the signal at the moment the signal was strongest. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Delia began treatment, a medication to regulate the episodes, a monitoring protocol, and a follow-up schedule with Dr. Okonkwo. Pierre bought Atlas a new dog bed and put it, without being asked, in the kitchen to the left of Delia's counter position. He said nothing about it. Delia found it there one morning. Atlas uses it. He does not sit in the left side position anymore, with the sustained focus of 9 days of silent alerting. He lies on the bed, head toward Delia, eyes tracking her movement through the morning kitchen. Occasionally, he raises his head and watches her more closely for a moment, and then puts it back down. The episodes are less frequent now. The medication is working. Her chemistry is changing. He knows that too. The next story is about a dog who started following a grandfather room to room for 3 weeks, and what the neurologist found when the family finally brought the grandfather in.